What is up, guys? Welcome. Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this, guys. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Let's get right into this. So we have kind of a big thing going on today. Obviously, if you saw from the headline or the thumbnail. Sorry, I'm just getting back from the gym. I'm like running late. You can still see sweat on my forehead. Let's get into this, guys. So we have unemployment coming out today in the next literally 9 minutes. We have unemployment. So let's see how this plays out. Big deal, obviously, because unemployment's going to be a big indicator as far as if they're going to be how aggressive they're going to be reducing interest rates as we move forward. Obviously, from Jerome Powell's talk, what was it, last week? Big thing talking about just strictly looking at unemployment. Inflation seems to be for the most part okay. We're going to be covering a big story. Obviously, you guys heard about the ports that shut down. We're going to be covering that article. Some breaking news that just dropped, I believe, last night or this morning. So let's just get right into it, guys. Larry, what's going on? Larry's already spilling the beans over here. Port strike kicked down the curb. That's exactly what's going on. And that's a big thing right there. Like I told you guys, remember just a few days ago, I was telling you, listen, whatever's going on, it's going to be most likely short term, right? Even this, the stuff that's going on in the Middle East, it's going to get resolved for the most part. Not resolved as in, everything's going to be peaceful over there, but it's just going to be a little Band-Aid slapped on it and things, everybody keeps it moving, right? So the port strike, definitely same thing. We're going to be moving on from that. So let's just jump right in here. So Bitcoin right now, not looking too bad compared to what we've seen the last few days. Right now, sitting at around 61,500. You guys can see a big spot for some resistance is around that 61,600 area. That's going to be a big spot for some resistance. You can see we've actually come up in the last few hours, and we've come up, hit our head, and got rejected. Excuse me. So we're going to definitely need to continue to keep coming up and testing this level. I'm thinking when these unemployment numbers come out, it's going to be a make or break moment temporarily for Bitcoin, as in if we're going to be breaking above that spot, maybe seeing some kind of a quick rally, or if we're going to start seeing some downward movement, and it's going to happen rapidly, right? So what we're looking for as far as unemployment, right? We have non-farm payrolls. This is basically in last month, how many jobs were created. We have forecast 140,000. Previous was 142. So what we want to see is 140,000 or more for the non-farm payrolls. And then for unemployment rate, we're basically looking at forecasts it to come out around 4.2. Previous was 4.2, and previous before that was 4.2. So they're claiming that unemployment has basically flatlined across the board. Whatever it is, like I told you guys, I really don't buy into these numbers because every time they drop these numbers, a month down the road, they'll slide it out, while you're not really paying attention. And they're like, actually, instead of that 140,000 jobs, we actually created only 60,000. It's a revise, but they really do it quietly and without anyone really too much paying attention unless you're looking for it. But like I told you guys yesterday, I'm not really worried about if these numbers are correct or not, because at the end of the day, if they're going to put out, numbers that are going to look good for the market and for the economy, we'll take advantage of it, right? Because at the end of the day, it's going to help our portfolios turn green or, steadily stay in the green and can increase, right? So we're not going to sit there and I'm not going to sit here and argue, oh, unemployment's higher than what it is right now. Right now, not really too worried about it. Give us the numbers that we want to see so we can continue to see this market moving up. Obviously, you guys can see in the last week or two, we've been covering this, Bitcoin particularly. The market as well, the stock market and a lot of other things have been moving towards the downside. Bitcoin, like I told you guys, that 60,150 area needed to hold, and so far it has. Obviously, we broke down briefly below that area for the local low being somewhere around that 59,860 area, but it was very quickly, bought up, and you can see for the most part, we sat there and just found that support right at that 60,150 area. So check mark. We definitely held that area. That's what we needed to do. Now the next thing, as far as us moving towards the upside, we need to see these unemployment rates number favor towards our numbers that we want to see, obviously, and we need to break to 61,600. So we have about 5 minutes until the unemployment numbers are jumping. As far as leverage trading for today, not doing it. I'm not doing any leverage trading as of now. I've been steadily just, accumulating during this dip. Not really too worried about jumping in on leverage trade or anything like that. But if you were to ask me, Crip, would you open up a long or a short right now? I would be very cautious. I'm telling you right now, I'd be very cautious on what I would do as far as what I would jump in on. If I had to pick right now, if someone was like, bro, you have to pick right now, long or short, what would you do? Because it's just so, you don't know what these numbers are going to come out, right? You don't know what we're going to get. Hopefully we see, lower unemployment numbers, right? Obviously, 4.1 or below, market's going to go up. 4.2, markets probably will flatline, most likely. 4.3 or higher, market's going to go down, right? So with that being said, obviously hindsight 2020, opening up a long down here would have probably been your best bet. As of now, it's a 50-50. I would say if I had to pick right now, I would probably go with a long. And the reason is because the market looks like it really wants to pump. We just need to see that one thing. Like I said, the unemployment rate obviously either meet forecasts or come below what forecasts numbers are. And we'll see I think we're going to see a nice pump. Jumping over into the Fed meeting. We have about a month until the Fed meetings come in. You guys can see the numbers are fluctuating. Now we have even more, 71.5% of the markets calling for some kind of a pause or a 0.25% reduction in interest rates. And you have 28.5% calling for about 1/4 to 0.5%, 50 basis point reduction in interest rates. This is going to fluctuate. I'm telling you guys, this is going to fluctuate as these numbers drop, these unemployment numbers drop. So we have about 3 minutes until unemployment drops, so we will see how this works out. As far as looking at the other chart for our Bitcoin, you guys can see for the daily, we have bounced off that 50-day moving average. Like I told you guys, we bounced off the 50-day moving average, but we can't seem, obviously, to even get near the 200-day for right now. Now, these numbers drop and they're in our favor. We're most likely going to see a nice little run up, probably towards the top of this channel, or most likely same thing, kind of around this 200-day moving average, which is around the 63,500 area. But going back to, let me see here, 63,400 we have on this chart as far as some resistance. So we'll see which one plays out. We'll see. We got 2.5 minutes, guys. Larry said, guy who shot in Butler is returning. Special guest Elon Musk joining him. What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about, Larry? What's going on, MX? Where's everybody at today? Everybody's still sleeping. Minute and a half until these numbers drop. Let's see. I'm about to go in the Discord and wake everybody up. We got about a minute left. Guys. You guys can see for the daily. Look at this. Holy crap. FTX up 20%. Hex 17%. The market, definitely a lot of alts are definitely starting to try to rebound for right now. Not looking too bad across the market for the daily. Monthly still looks very, very nice. I mean, look at this. Hex is up 350 freaking percent. For the month, we still look absolutely great. Oh, I see what you're saying. So he's going back to Pennsylvania and he's bringing Elon with him. I see. I understand now. I thought you were referring to Butler as a person. All right, guys, unemployment numbers are about to drop, guys. We're about to drop. Let's see. Let's pull up this chart because this gives us a little bit more indication. Remember, we need to break the 61,600 area. Unemployment numbers are about to drop literally in like 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds. I should put a timer up. All right, numbers dropped. Look at this. Numbers dropped. Look at this. All right, look at this. Unemployment came below 4.1. 4.1 beating the forecast at 4.2. The non-farm hasn't dropped yet, but you guys can see unemployment just dropped 4.1, and Bitcoin already broke above that level that we need. Let's see. There's going to be a lot of fluctuations going on right now, but this is good, guys. This is very good as far as, damn, look at the actual non-farm payroll jobs. 254,000 jobs they claim they created. Forecast was supposed to be 140. So these are good numbers right here, guys. These are good numbers. I'm expecting that when the stock market opens up in about an hour from now, that we're going to see some big movement towards the upside, guys. So you are going to see the prices kind of fluctuating up and down for right now, just because you probably had a lot of people that were waiting for this kind of quick move that are going to sell off, you know, these little pansies. But for the most part, I think for today, we're going to see some nice run up. Obviously, we have on the 2 hour, this 50-day moving average sitting above where we're kind of hitting our head on. That's the 61,900 area. Somewhere around there is going to be a big spot for some resistance. But I'm expecting, guys, I told you, I'm expecting us to start moving towards the upside now that we've seen the numbers move up. We covered this earlier. I didn't go into the article yet. We are going to, but the dock workers on the East Coast and the Gulf Coast have returned to work. So that whole the docks being closed down, inflation possibly running up is all done with for right now. You know, the Middle East, like I said, I think that's going to we're probably going to see maybe a little bit of a tit for tat, but I think it's going to be really nothing for right now. So for the most part, for right now, guys, unemployment just dropped. If you're just jumping in, unemployment just dropped in the numbers. Forecast to be 4.2. We came below forecast at 4.1%. This is what we were looking for, guys. We wanted to see us start seeing unemployment coming down, right? Inflation has been coming down, which means technically, if you're looking at the numbers that they're providing us, the economy is starting to pick back up, and inflation is necessarily down from where it was at the peak at 9%. So looking good. Non-farm payrolls, you guys can see, forecast to be 140,000 jobs. We literally shattered that forecast at 254,000 jobs created, they claim. And you guys can see, I keep going back from chart to chart. Right now, that spot is still technically a big spot that we have to break, that 61,600. So I'm expecting when the market opens up, the stock market, we're going to probably see some good inflows coming in regards to Bitcoin. And obviously that will definitely move the markets. We looked at this a little while ago, looking at the alts. You guys can see, for the most part, this is the daily. Looking at alts top 100, most of the market's doing great. Most of the market is doing great, starting to, well, I mean, they're rebounding great, right? We're down for the weekly, you know, but the numbers are starting to pick back up when you go back over towards the daily. A lot of these altcoins are definitely seeing some big moves. Shiba's up 7.5%, Beam 9%, ADA 4%, Hex has been absolutely killing it. FTT or FTX, I'm sorry, token doing all right. For the most part, market looks good. Like I said, guys, we're just gonna have to kind of wait and let this day play out. But for the most part, everything that's been kind of looming over, causing the markets to not do so well as of the last few weeks, are starting to kind of fade away. And I think we're gonna have upward movement continuing. Again, like I've been telling you guys for the last week, we had needed to stay around this 60,180, 150 area. We did find that as support. So with that being said, we're not going to obviously shoot to the moon immediately, but if this was our low off of this drop, things could be looking good. Things could be looking good, guys, and we can get right back on track as far as what we've been kind of waiting for. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, jumping over to the article, Thousands of dock workers on the East Coast and Gulf Coast will return to work after reaching a tentative agreement on wages, ending one of the biggest work stoppage in decades. So, and we won't even really read into it much. Effective immediately, all current job actions will cease and all work covered by the master contract will resume. So you guys can see, obviously, everything is getting back to normal as far as that. So we don't have anything to worry about. We'll see here. Trump missiles and the world on the brink. We won't even read into this. This is for Polymarket in regards to certain bets right now, but we won't even get into it. Right now, you guys can see neck and neck for Polymarket as far as Trump and Harris. We have the Middle East conflict, right? Israel forces enter Lebanon in September. Obviously, that already happened, so you know, there's just things that we can't control, right, across the board. But for the most part, I think we're going to be all right, guys. Looking at the fear and greed index, we're at 36 for right now, obviously, given what we've had this last week. So I think we're going to be, you know, moving towards the upside as far as at least getting into neutral. But we're still in fear, so take advantage of it, right? We see a lot of the alts rebounding for today, but we haven't technically, given even this unemployment rate, this unemployment numbers, we didn't really shoot up yet, right? I'm thinking today will most likely be a good day for us. We'll be in the green, steadily moving up. I don't think we're going to like go crazy and run up and break this local high that we did earlier at around 66,500. But I think with this week setting up, I mean, this week coming up, this weekend, it's going to be dull as far as volume, but going into next week, Monday and stuff like that, hopefully, as long as the Middle East now is probably going to be our main thing, is what we're watching. As far as Israel, you know, retaliating back, you know, going back and forth, hopefully that kind of dies out, or maybe they'll just put a pause to it all for right now and we can continue our run, because we are in October right now, guys. We are in October. So historically, usually is a great month for Bitcoin. If you guys are just joining, unemployment numbers, 4.2 forecast, we just beat it at 4.1, so very good for that. And then non-farm payrolls forecast to be 140,000 jobs created. We actually created on this chart, right? 254,000 jobs were created. So definitely a good numbers, you know, released today as far as unemployment coming out. So that's what we wanted to see. If you guys remember, Jerome Powell, that's all he spoke about on his last meeting was unemployment and making sure unemployment doesn't spiral out of control. So hopefully everything works itself out. And you can see pretty much green across the board. Not looking too shabby, guys. Let me see if there's anything else that we needed to cover. NFK's up 2%. We'll take it. Not too bad. All right, guys. Well, listen, short stream. Just wanted to release those numbers live. Other than that, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe. It is Friday, so enjoy yourselves. If you are working, you got one more day. We got one more day, and then we have the weekend. So smooth sailing's ahead of us, right? We will be live all weekend, Saturday and Sunday as well. So make sure you guys are here. Hopefully we have a solid, today is a solid day. Stock market, like I said, I'm expecting at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, the markets to open up. Hopefully we're opening up in the green, and we'll see some upward movement, some good inflows coming in for the Bitcoin ETFs and all that good stuff. So with that being said, guys, have a fantastic day. I will see each and every one of you guys maybe later today. If not, we will be here tomorrow midday on Saturday for our Saturday stream. All right, guys, thank you so much.